Welcome or welcome back to the Unraveling Soprano. I'm Heather, and this is my channel where I talk about all my makes from the week, whether that be knitting, sewing, crochet, and today I have a huge update. I have finished my campfire cardigan. So I'm wearing my campfire cardigan, and I'm wearing a me-made dress. I think it's called the Zoe. I'll put a picture. But it's not knitwear. I sewed the dress probably about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. But big news, I say I'm done with the campfire cardigan, but I'm not entirely. I have the buttons to still purchase. I still have to purchase the buttons and then sew them on. But everything else is completely done. And this pattern, the end result, I don't know if I can. It's perfect. It's so perfect. So I have these pockets. I love these pockets. I love the pocket construction. The length is perfect. It just kind of, it's like almost like 2 inches above my knee. I just finished this like maybe a half hour ago. So that's like maybe my hair's a mess and I don't have a little bit of makeup on, but not much. Mostly because I was just so excited that I finished. Because I didn't think I was going to, because I think the last time I checked in, I was still working on the sleeves and I had not done the collar. So the collar wasn't super complicated. It's not particularly laying well right now. I think it's mostly because this entire thing probably needs a block. Yeah, it probably needs to be blocked because the pieces, the side pieces and the back piece, they have been blocked. And the sleeves have been blocked, but it hasn't been blocked altogether. And the shawl part has not been blocked in the pocket. Bags have not been blocked. But yeah, so it's super, super warm. It's probably not the appropriate time to be wearing this because it's currently in my room 74 degrees, but I was just so excited I wanted to share it. Yeah, the end product, this took a really, really long time. I think that I don't know if it would take everybody a long time because there were definitely some weeks where I just kind of put this aside. I didn't spend as much time as I would have liked on it. But I think this took me about almost 2 months, which for me, that's a decent amount of time. I went through, so this is in Barocco Ultra Alpaca. I think it's Ultra Alpaca. It's a worsted weight yarn. This is all I have left. So this is going to go into my donate pile for the art teacher that I know. So her kids can use it for weaving because I can't really see myself doing much with this. So that's going to go onto my donate pile. Yeah, the process was great. I really did like this project. It was a little bit of a slog at times, mostly with the sleeves. I was able to stay pretty engaged for the cables, but when I got to the sleeves, I was like, I was ready to be done. But then when I got to the collar went by super quickly. I'm not quite sure I did the short row shaping exactly how it was written because they wanted wrap and shirt turns, and I think I did German short rows, and I think those are different. But it ended up really great. The shoulder setting, the setting in the sleeves, little wonky, but I think again with blocking that is gonna be fine. Length, it is the perfect length. I can't show you, but it's like just at my thumb, which for this particular type of cardigan, I want it a little longer. I'll probably always roll up my sleeves, but I like the option of like pulling them down and having it be like a slightly longer length. I don't know if I've ever talked about the inspiration for why I wanted to make this cardigan, but it was kind of based off of the cardigan Jillian wears in Practical Magic. I'll put a photo somewhere. I mean, obviously this is much different. Like this has a shawl collar. And it's a completely different color. But yeah, I just wanted a really long, comfy, cozy cardigan that had cables. The pocket construction was really great. So basically, you picked up stitches. You're supposed to do a row of purl stitches, and then you picked up stitches, and no, that's wrong. You picked up stitches in the round and knit the pocket, and then for the band to kind of hide the pocket a little bit, that's where you kind of knit into purl stitches. I messed up where I put my purl stitches, but you cannot tell. And the pocket looks pretty seamless. I really love this pocket construction. Overall, the fit is exactly how I wanted it to be. It is not incredibly oversized, but it's not form-fitting either. So I think that that's great. Once I get buttons, it'll be completely finished. If I don't get buttons for a bit, that's fine. And we're out of the season where I would be necessarily wearing this a lot anyways. I think I might have like one more day. I've actually already worn this, even though I just finished it. I wore it around the house about a week ago when it was all sewn up. Everything except for the pocket was done. I still had the pockets on the hold stitches, and I was just like, I'm just going to wear this because I want to wear it at least once before the season is over. And it was great. It wasn't too hot. It was really light, and I felt really comfortable in it. So I do think this is going to be a very well-loved piece. The pattern itself, a little bit more about the pattern, pretty easy to follow. I really do like Amy Herzog's patterns. I think I have a good idea of what size to make in her patterns, and I have an entire book of like other patterns I want to make later on. So I think that it's good that like her instructions were pretty easy to follow. There were some interesting like harder techniques, but the way she wrote them out, it was very clear. I didn't have any moments where I was like, what am I doing? Like I was able to figure out everything without actually looking up too many YouTube tutorials. I had to do a 3 needle bind off on the pocket bag, which I've done before, but I just forgot how you did it. So that was the only thing I looked up. Everything else I was able to just do from either her instructions or just from memory. I think that if you are a brand new knitter, this is probably not a first project unless you are incredibly ambitious, just because of the cables and the short rows and the shawl collar and picking up stitches. There's a lot of like, I would say closer to intermediate techniques. The cables, short rows. Not that short rows are that hard, but it takes a second to like get your brain around what a short row is, because you're basically just going back and forth and adding height to the back of the neck. A button band, again, not super hard, but like picking up stitches can be hard. And actually I was really surprised with this pattern because I added 5 inches and I went and I forgot that I probably needed to adjust my pickup rate for my band. I would have had to add logically it would make more sense if I added more stitches to my pickup rate because I added 5 inches, but I didn't do that. And this is one of the best, cleanest button bands I have ever done. And I have no idea why it's like that, but yeah, I'll bring it. Like, it's super, super clean. Like, yeah. I mean, like, there's a little bit of, like, but I think that'll be blocked out. Again, because, like, this piece has already been blocked. This has not. So I think that that's going to be blocked out the first time I wash it. And, like, that little... Sorry. So long I'm sitting on it. That little difference... That does not bug me. Like, I don't even... Yes, it's there, but that doesn't register to me as being off. Yeah, so it's just a fabulous pattern. I just really appreciated how it... oftentimes when I'm knitting something, the end product is close to what I envision in my head, but not exact. And this is one of the first longer term projects where it is pretty much exactly what I pictured, which is fantastic. I'm thrilled. And I cannot recommend this pattern enough. I thought that the cables were just really easy to memorize. The back, not so much. I'll show the back. Just switching to this middle pattern, sorry, you probably can't hear me. Switching to that middle cable pattern. Also, I have no idea if any of what I just did was in focus, so sorry. But switching to that middle, like honeycomb pattern, just memorizing that was easy, but in conjunction with the side patterns, that was a little tricky, so I had to be a little bit more cued in for the back. But the sides went really quickly. And again, like, this is not perfect. There are definitely mistakes, but you can't really see them. Like, no one would know. And I love this color. So I was not sure this was going to be a good color for me. It's very, like, the color is very warm. And I look a little pale in the viewfinder, but I'm just pale. So, but I do think it's great. It's like, it's called Tiger Eye Multi, and I thought it does read orange, but I think it's more of a caramelly orange instead of like a bright orange. And I can wear orange, it's just usually not a muted orange. But I would say that this is a brighter brown than a muted orange. So would I knit this pattern again? If something happened to this, yes, I would knit it again. Do I need this one in another color? No, I don't need this in another color. So I probably won't knit the pattern again unless something happens to this. But it's a good thing to like keep. I'm going to keep the book, and there's other patterns of the book that I will use. Would I knit this as a gift? No. It's too much work. It's too much work, and without knowing exactly how it would fit, I would be afraid that I would make the wrong choices, because when you're knitting something in pieces, you really need to know that, like, your measurements. And so when I was making this, I was able to like kind of hold things up and go, okay, it's a little tight. And before I put the shawl collar on, I was like, oh, it's not quite reaching. But then as soon as I put the shawl collar on, I was like, oh, that's an extra like 3 or 4 inches. And so now it's like the perfect length. So yeah, so I don't think I would be able to figure that out for a gift. Like, I'd have to have, like, the person would have to know that I am making it for them, and we'd have to do several try-on sessions to make sure I am like in the right ballpark. So, and a lot of my gift knitting, I like to surprise people, so I probably would not knit this for anybody as a gift. So that is my finished object. Since I just finished this today, I have not started anything else, but what I'm planning on starting this week is my wrap over cardigan, which I will put a picture up. I'm trying to find it in the book that I'm using. Aha, okay. Yeah, so the wrap over cardigan, and it's from this book. Sorry if it's like, there it goes. And focus on me. It's based on an 18th century short jacket, or it's based on a Spencer, but it's a wrap over cardigan. And I think it'll be great with dresses. So like wearing it specifically with this dress, and another dress I have like it. I'm going to be knitting it in Knit Picks palette in wheat, which I will dig out of my stash at some point this week. Probably tomorrow. Maybe I'll start it tomorrow. Again, this is another one that is in pieces, but I think this is going to be a much shorter project because it is cropped. and I'm going to keep it cropped. Like there's, I've seen some Ravelry photos of people who have done this. Some people extend it. I'm going to obviously probably have to extend it for my natural waist, but I'm not going to extend the wrap because I only see myself wearing this over top of dresses and not as like a standalone piece. But yeah, so that should be pretty relatively quick. Maybe I can get it done before the end of April, but no, I don't know. Um, so that's what I have as far as my knitting updates. I have finally finished Wuthering Heights. I I keep going back and forth. I think that I must be missing something with this book because it is so well loved, and I think that maybe some of the gothicness of it I didn't quite pick up on, because I really do love gothic literature. And it was definitely moody, and the characters were moody, but I didn't quite feel the ambiance of like the setting, even though I'm sure it's pretty obvious to anybody else who read it. But like, it didn't like. When I think gothic, I think spooky, and um, it wasn't as spooky as I thought it would be. Like I wanted more of Kathy, even though I didn't particularly like Kathy. I liked her daughter, and I thought it ended well. Like at the end, it was like, oh, but like it's the ending was like almost like an afterthought, where it was just like, hurry up, let's end the book. And I did like the ending, so like I can't say that I didn't like the book because I did like the ending, and it made the whole rest of the story make more sense. Mostly, I'm just glad I'm done with it. As far as from my other book, um, unfortunately, I ran out of time. So the other book I was reading was The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna, and I had to return it. So it's an audiobook that I rented through Libby. So I just kind of took a screenshot of where I was, and I put myself back. Like I placed another hold for it because somebody else was wanting it. So probably in a couple weeks, I will be able to finish that book. I got to about 50% of the way done. So yeah, pretty bummed about that. But my next book that I'm going to read is going to be a physical reading of book. I'm going to be reading The Scarlet Letter. I found this in my parents' house, and I haven't physically read a book in a very long time. So this seems like a very manageable size for a book to read. So this is what I'm going to be reading next. And as far as things that have brought me joy this week, finishing this has brought me a lot of joy. Hanging out with my siblings has brought me joy. It's been like relative. Oh, I planted potatoes. Forgot. I planted potatoes this morning. So yeah, I planted potatoes, carrots, and beets, and that was a lot of fun. I also planted a black raspberry bush. I want to say a couple weeks ago, and it's really starting to shoot up, which is great. I don't know if I'll actually have any like fruit from it this year. But I'm just excited that it's growing, because I did that whole no dig gardening that I've been doing this year. I put some cardboard down, and I put a huge mound of compost, and then I put the starter plant in the ground. And when I put it in the ground, it was like right at the leaf, but now it's grown probably about 2 or 3 inches. I think we are officially out of winter. I think there's only one more day of cold weather in the forecast. I mean, it's the Midwest, so who knows? But for here, my area, it looks like we're getting out of it. So yeah, that brings me a lot of joy, and I think that's about it. But to be honestly, the big win. This is the big win. And I'm super excited to wear this next year. And maybe even when the AC is on, maybe I'll be able to wear it a little bit then too. But yeah, so let me know how you're doing, what you're working on, and anything that's bringing you joy. What are you reading? And until next time, I hope you have all the time in the world to, I mean, not in the world, but all the time you need to do the things that you need to do to practice your hobbies and to practice self-care. And until next time, happy knitting. Bye!